Hello and welcome to Prairie Pulse. Coming up a little bit later, we'll profile ceramic artist Brad Bachmeyer. But first, we have a guest with us, Teresa Jones. Teresa, thanks for joining us today. You are an author of a new book out as My Vladislaus Dracula.
Yes, Vladislaus Dracula.
Vladislaus Dracula. I said I'd get close to it. First off, tell the folks a little bit about yourself and your background.
Okay, I was born and raised in Iowa, in Arnold's Park, Iowa. I went to school in Okoboji and graduated from, we had a choice to have our diplomas. We were the last of our class to have our diplomas, either say Okoboji or Arnold's Park, because they were combining. And I got married, went into the military. I met my husband in the military, and I decided to come back, and I stayed in Lake Park, Iowa now for the last 15 years. And so being there, I have two children, my son, Nicholas, and my daughter, Cynthia, and they both go to Lake Park Public School. So.
Okay. Now, how did you come to be an author?
Well, my husband went over to Iraq. And when he was over there, I used to write 4 or 5 page letters to him because I wanted him to know everything that was going on in our lives at the time. And so, you know, he couldn't read them, obviously. He said he would print them out and read them later. But of course, they kept coming. And so he had stacks and stacks. And when he came home, I was kind of void. I was like, wait a minute. I loved that writing and telling him stories of what happened. And so, you know, we had gone on a vacation when he came back to Hawaii. And at that point in time, while I was finally able to relax, I started dreaming, and just my mind was filling with all of these, you know, just all of these books stories. And so I ended up with about 14 of them to begin with. And then when I tried to take one at a time, and I started with, of course, An Escape, A Secret Life, because we were in Hawaii at the time. And that's how I had started my writing, of course.
Okay. Well, then let's start with this one, because we're going to get to others. But tell us about this book here.
Okay.
Obviously an interesting subject, to be sure.
Yeah, it's an interesting subject because a lot of people do not distinguish, you know, the vampire Dracula from Bram Stoker's and then the 15th century Romanian prince of Romania. And so what a lot of people, you know, end up doing is they combine the two, which they shouldn't because they're too separate. Because of obviously Bram Stoker, you know, if you go to the Rosenbach, I believe it's the Rosenbach Museum in Philadelphia, you can find some notes on Stoker's book. And he was originally going to call his book Count Vampire. Of course, you know, the German W's, and, you know, they have a lot of